So hi, welcome to this podcast with Radio Aftermath. We're gonna ask them some questions today. I'm gonna start. So what inspires you guys to start the band, and what does the band name mean?
Here we go. So I started the band back in 2014. Basically just come out of a pop punk band. It was a bit like Newfound Glory style.
Mhm.
Basically, I wanted to do something a bit more punk rock rather than pop punk. So I started this band, doing it on my own. The name came from the classic. I just had loads of words I liked, and I just put them together to see which one sounded good.
Yeah.
Radio Aftermath was one of them. Decided on that, and then following that, a friend of mine told me about the Oppenheimer speech about the nuclear bomb. It's one of the guys that invented the nuclear bomb. He's just describing. He's just witnessed it go off for the first time. He's just describing what it was like. That video, coupled with the name, just absolutely like set everything in motion for the image of the band, like all the artwork that we've done, and that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Solid. All right, that's really cool. Did you have any more names that were possibly going to make the mark, but they didn't?
The way quite a while ago. I honestly can't remember what else I had.
That's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can't.
Thank you for trying. I appreciate it. So congratulations on your newest single release, Estranged. How do you feel the response to that so far?
Been pretty good. I'm talking over someone.
I'll let you go, Rob. I started off.
I was gonna say every single we've released since our first one, which was almost a year ago, it was last April. It seems like the response has got a little better every time. So at this rate, in about 10,000 years, we should be seeing million plus streams.
Okay.
So true, yeah.
Better late than never.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
So you guys recently put out a remix of your song "You and All of Us." What inspired the idea to remix it, and how did that come about?
Lockdown inspired it.
That's fair.
In the UK, we've been officially in lockdown again since the start of January, I believe. It never really ended, but we had like a brief break over Christmas where we were allowed to see our family for like 2 days. And so basically we've been sat around bored since then. So I've just been dicking about in GarageBand and playing around with the original You and All of Us, and ended up tweaking the knobs until I feel like, oh, that sounds good.
Okay.
So I just put it to the rest of the guys, like, oh, do you mind if I release this? Because I'm like low level proud of it.
All right. Will you guys be putting out any more remixes? Or was this just like a one-time thing?
I'm always messing about myself. I don't know about the other guys, but possibly. There's no immediate plans.
I'm not really a computer guy, so I just stick to jamming on the guitar and writing words.
Yeah. Okay.
That's fair. I get that. So speaking of writing, actually, can you guys tell me a little bit about your writing process for the single?
Well, generally, it's one of us has a song idea, whether that be a guitar riff, which it generally starts off with a guitar riff, and we just hash it out at like band rehearsal and stuff.
Yeah, there's generally a lot of shouting at each other.
I have to write words to all these songs, which I think I do all right.
There's a lot of sort of WhatsApp voice notes in band chat, just of riffs and things like that sort of get bounced about and lost in the ether.
I'll be walking to town, or I'll be walking to town or work, and so you can hear lots of traffic behind me. I'll just be like humming into my phone and like.
So
we've managed to build up a good sort of discourse. I think we understand a lot of the weird mouth noises we make when we're trying to explain songs to each other.
Yeah.
I think that's communication's key. So I think we're getting good at that now.
Definitely, it's become a talent.
Very
Absolutely.
talented.
Like when we tell Jack we need the drums to sound more drums, he knows what we mean.
So it seems like it's a very collaborative process, even if you guys aren't in the same room together.
Yeah, I've been in bands personally before where it's been like when you join the band, they, I specifically asked like, oh, do you want someone who's gonna do what they're told, kind of thing, or do you want someone who's gonna contribute to the writing? Normally, they'll say they want someone who contributes because it sounds better than being like, I have a vision, this is my baby, and I need someone who's just gonna shut up and play. I've had a few bands where they've said that, and it turns out that someone had a vision, and they wanted you to shut up and play. So with this band, we specifically all go out of our way to try and make that less the case and try and make sure everyone has a voice. And
well, I originally said that at the start, but they're all bigger than me, so
Yeah.
yeah, if Chris ever tries to bully us, it goes badly wrong for him.
Yeah.
You guys will break lockdown and go kick his ass.
No, it is really good, and I'm like the newest member. Like I only joined the guys sort of mid last year, and right off the bat, I think it was the exact same thing I said to Chris. Like, do you just want someone to come and play the parts that are already there, or do you want someone to sort of like get involved? And yeah, it's good. Everyone sort of chips in, and we come out with good songs. It's great. It works nicely.
That's fantastic.
That's awesome. This is you.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay. So where was your headspace at while you're writing the single?
I think we were all just like depressed and bored of being locked down for pretty much 9 months straight.
Oh.
No, I mean it was good fun. I think for all of us, it was a bit of a distraction from everything that was going on.
Yeah.
Just really sort of pour our time into. Also, a good excuse to actually sit in a room with other people because you're allowed. It's for music and sort of professionally, that kind of thing. So it was good to actually get stuff down, gave us all something to work towards, and it's the first thing that we've all put out in the current iteration. I think Rob describes us really well, saying that we're creatively fertile at the minute, which I just really like.
That's an interesting way to put it. Yeah.
It is. So we sort of wrote that. Yeah. And and now it's just a matter of, I think our main focus is sort of getting the rest of the tracks that we have ready recorded and hopefully put out an EP as soon as we can, really. But that's a bit of a question mark at the minute with everything.
Yeah.
We're already working on the next single.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. So you said that this song was like 9 months of pent up anger about the lockdown. Did you guys get to record this while the restrictions were lifted, or was this recorded from home?
It was a bit of a blend, wasn't it?
Both, I think.
Yeah.
Then can you talk to me a little bit about that process, the recording from home process?
Well, a lot of the recording, I recorded the drums on my own, and then basically it was just sort of back and forth with the rest of the band, just trying to record. So they'd send some stuff over, then they'd come round and record some things, and it was just sort of, I don't know, it was a bit of a pain not being able to do it properly, but we got there in the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we were able to have a bit of fun with it, like Jack coming round to mine to sort of record the final, like, little bit of acoustic guitar for it, and my cat jumping about over his Zoom mic. You don't get that kind of stuff when you get paid to do it in a studio, so that was kind of nice.
Yeah,
the cat definitely features in there somewhere. It's in the background.
Low down in the mix, Here, Jeff, somewhere,
When you're recording from home versus a studio, normally when you're in the studio, you've booked a time slot, so you're kind of up against it. Whereas with the from home thing, it's a bit more time for you to slow down and play around with overdubs or different guitar effects or stuff like that. So it does help in the end. I think we had a chance to do more layering of different tracks, whereas our last recording, we kind of did it over a weekend, so we just had to smash it out.
Yeah, I mean, like Sam ended up recording a guitar part for the chorus just completely by accident, just messing around with pedals. He just played this random thing, and it fit so well. I was like, "Did you record that? Play it again."
Yeah.
I like that you gave me absolutely no credit there. Like,
Oh,
no,
I mean,
don't
no.
create
I
a genius.
did kind of give you credit. I mean, you played
It
something.
was the pedals, Chris. You don't have to show.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was a situation of putting every single pedal on and just see what came out, and it really worked. So
solid
Noisy noise.
noise. So while listening through this single, what band or artist influences pop out the most to you guys, if any?
I think that's a loaded question because we'll all give you about 50 different examples.
Well, go ahead.
Well,
I
Chris.
think when I originally the main riff I sort of wrote like quite a few years back, and the bands even before all these guys joined, like I had there's like an old version of the band and just on and off working on it. It just never really went anywhere. It was a bit slow, a bit plodding, and then it took the new lineup to really fucking give it a kick up the arse. And I think when I originally wrote the riff, it was like slowed down. In my mind, it sounded a bit like Arctic Monkeys or Interpol, which was completely different to anything the band had done before. I think it still has sort of like post-punk, post-rock sort of feel to it. Maybe still, but that's for me anyway, originally.
Oh.
Yeah, personally, I tend to gravitate towards like alt rock or post hardcore. So bands like Alexis on Fire, or there's a British band called Ruben, who they've split up now, but they were massive influence on like the way I play guitar and bass. So they're never far. Like when I'm writing stuff, they're never that far from my thoughts.
Okay. Anybody else?
Venture a few, but like same as sort of Chris and Rob saying, it all sort of blends into one. But I think like I got a lot of post-rock influences, bands like Mogwai, especially with that thing that we just sort of knocked out in the studio. That was all that was, trying to make Mogwai noises, and if they fit. I think when so many of us bring so many different sort of like influences over, it sort of melds into this unrecognizable thing anyway, even if I'm essentially just trying to get a tone that is straight off of Mogwai's Hardcore Will Never Die album. This stuff just happens, and yeah, that's the one I'd probably point to.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the post-rock way. Just turn on the pedals on full.
All right.
Definitely.
Just zone out for 35 minutes.
Exactly.
Let's play one chord and then you can just leave the room for a bit.
Exactly. So this question should be super, super quick. Off the top of your head, I want you to describe this single for new listeners in 3 words. No more, no less. All of you have to do it.
Yeah, straight up banger.
Okay.
Straight banger.
Beat him, he stole mine. All right. Hooky, catchy, and occasionally heavy. And I'm going to hyphenate occasionally and heavy, so it's technically one word.
Okay.
Okay, solid.
I'm going to go with an emotional journey.
I don't know, punchy, powerful, good.
All right.
All right, good. So where do you guys see the band in the next 5 years? And you mentioned that you're already working on a new single. Can you tell us anything about that? And when I say can you, I mean tell us everything.
Hopefully in 5 years, we are a household name, and Dave Grohl is calling me up and being like, "Hey, Chris, you want to support the Foo Fighters on our next tour?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, sure, Dave." That's where I see it in 5 years.
Yeah.
No, actually, you'll be calling Dave, and you'll be going, "Hey, would you like to support us?"
Exactly.
The next single is it's currently called Lizard Shoes. That may stay working title. I'm not sure yet, but we might keep it.
Okay.
Again, it's just evolving the sound for me. It's been a long one in the making as well. Like Rob did a lot of the writing for this one. I'm really excited for it. It's got it's like really catchy, poppy, but also it's got some alternative rock, sort of like post-punk vibes to it. I'm really excited to get it recorded, actually. But if anyone else wants to
All right.
talk,
So we started writing it about 2019. with a completely different lineup. So Jack and Sam weren't even in the band at that point. It was me, Chris, a different drummer and guitar player. But then just due to different reasons, we couldn't for the entirety of 2019, we just couldn't make anything seem to happen for us. Like practices kept getting missed, couldn't gig properly. It was just felt like the whole world was against us at some point. So we had the idea, like the sort of first draft written, and then since Jack and Sam joined and we actually managed to, kick ourselves up the arse and get things moving, it's kind of moved along quite a bit from there. So, it's another one where we tried to have a lot of different elements, but also not just be like, here's a part, here's a part, here's a part, try and make it flow so it sounds like a song rather than just 15 different riffs loosely connected.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's been
that makes
pretty,
sense.
pretty gratifying about getting it sort of finalized, because again, only fairly recently has it been. Yeah, I'll say it. It's finalized now. Hopefully, the guys sort of agree.
It's literally a few days ago, last rehearsal, we
got it.
we were like, yeah, sounding better already.
Yeah.
Solid.
It's always been a little bit of a thorn in the side as well, because it's like always been that song that needed sorting out, and now to have actually got it down, and I'm really excited to get it done. And it's sounding really tight. Again, really different to the other songs we've already put out, but I think it's really good.
Oh yeah.
I think
Good.
the hard part for it was very close, and it has been for a while, and that kind of puts you off from finalizing it, because it's like, well, what we know it needs something, but we don't know what, so you just kind of procrastinate and just start writing 58 other songs all at the same time.
Yeah.
So for the last couple of questions, we're actually going to shift away from music and go straight to death row.
Boom.
So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
Ooh. Good question. Probably a nice fat steak with some chips, proper home cooked chips, peppercorn sauce, a pint of Guinness. That'll do me.
Solid.
Guinness.
Like a Sunday dinner. I think that's mine.
Sunday dinner.
Proper. Yeah, definitely. Like roast beef.
Roast dinner.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know what to drink. Lilt. I don't know, something weird. Something we have. So yeah, it's me.
All right.
I would probably also go a steak, but say instead of chips, just to be different, say something like some dauphinoise potatoes.
Ooh, fancy a bit of dauphinoise.
Well, it's my last meal, man. You gotta might as well put the boat out.
Exactly.
I eat every single Sunday.
Well, I'm not that classy, so it's and to drink, I don't know. I'll pull back from classy and just say like a Jack Daniels or a Jim Beam or something.
Okay.
Solid.
I'd probably go for like a big old meat feast pizza and a big old pint of Heineken. That'd do me.
All right.
Solid. All right.
Oh, was still the student.
So, if you could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
Grand Theft Auto.
Okay.
Yeah.
We don't get that one very often.
No.
It's fairly psychotic.
Do anything you want without consequence. Great.
Well, except when the cops go after you and then they kill you.
Then you're
Yeah.
alive again, aren't you?
Just
You
respawn again,
wasted
right?
and then you come back.
Okay, you got me there.
It's got to be Pokemon, surely. Surely you want to, venture through. I mean, obviously, in hindsight, it's probably a bit animal abusey, but I want to.
Yeah.
Hang out with Pokemon.
All
All
right.
right. Solid.
I'm gonna say Fallout, just
So
to keep
true.
it on.
It's research
good
for the
one.
band, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's my excuse when I blast it for like 15 straight hours on a weekend or something.
That's fair.
I don't know. I'm a huge fan of the game, so I guess Skyrim. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, we haven't gotten Skyrim in a while, and it's like one of my favorite answers. So good one. That's a good one.
So I'm really here today, I promise. So I've now asking the last question, and every single person we've spoken to have said that it is the most important question. What's your favorite color?
Oh,
Purple.
Maroon.
No hesitate. I don't think I have one, man. Like cyan, maybe, because that's what
Okay.
I play on a.
That's a good one.
And Rob, did you answer?
Yeah, I said purple.
Purple.
Okay.
Mhm.
Colour of rock.
this color. I like this green, like a dark British racing green.
Mhm.
Okay.
Solid.
So as I said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything that you guys would like to plug?
Well, just everything that we've already released on the YouTube, Spotify's, the Facebooks, the Twitters, all the different medias.
Just a music video, painstakingly edited by myself, which is on YouTube. It'd be nice if people would check that out. Let me know how I did. It was horrible. I don't want to do it again.
All right. Well, thank you for sitting down with us, guys. It's been Radio Aftermath, and we're the Good Noise Podcast.